The most powerful tool in the universe is not force. It's not words. It's not even action. It's feeling. When you truly understand this, everything changes. The reality around you shifts. Every circumstance, every experience, every interaction is a direct reflection of the emotions you are holding within yourself. You see, we often think that our life is shaped by external events, that we are passive participants in the world around us. But the truth is far more empowering. You are the creator of your reality. Your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, and feelings, shapes the outer world in ways you cannot even begin to imagine. Feeling is the language of the universe. It is the frequency on which the universe tunes in to hear you. And when you speak the language of feeling with conviction, the universe responds. Think about the most powerful moments in your life. Those moments of true joy, deep fulfillment, or even overwhelming struggle. What did they all have in common? They were all driven by feeling. Whether it was a sense of inner peace, a burst of excitement, or a deep-rooted fear, those feelings formed the core of your experience and determined how you saw the world. In the same way, your current feelings are shaping your current reality. And here's the part most people miss. Feelings are not just reactions, they are creations. Every feeling you experience has the power to either attract more of the same or create an entirely new outcome. Your feelings draw to you the things, people, and experiences that resonate with your internal vibration. The life you are living right now, at this very moment, is a result of your inner emotional state. Ask yourself, what am I truly feeling most of the time? Because that, my friend, is what you are living. Your life is a reflection of your emotional state, and only when you change your feelings do you change your reality. The power of feeling is not just about reacting to life, it's about creating life. Every moment, you are planting seeds in your subconscious, seeds that will eventually sprout into your reality. Your emotions, your internal state, are the soil in which these seeds grow. And those feelings, whether conscious or unconscious, are shaping the experiences you attract. If you constantly feel anxious, fearful, or worried, you are creating a reality that mirrors those feelings. Your life will reflect that inner tension, drawing circumstances, people, and events that align with that energy. On the flip side, when you tap into feelings of joy, gratitude, and love, the universe responds by sending more experiences that align with that vibration. This isn't just a theory, it's the fundamental law of manifestation. You are not a passive observer in your own life. You are the director of your reality. The feelings you carry shape the world you live in, like a sculptor shaping clay. Think about it. When you're in a state of joy, how does your world feel? It's as if everything flows effortlessly. Opportunities seem to appear from nowhere. People are kinder. Life feels more expansive. Why? Because you are operating on a frequency that attracts those experiences. Your feelings act as a magnetic force, drawing to you what matches your internal vibration. But when you feel fear or doubt, the opposite happens. Your world starts to feel constricted, limited. Problems seem bigger. Opportunities feel further away. It's because you are sending out a signal of scarcity, and life reflects that back to you. But here's the good news. You can choose the feelings you wish to cultivate. You can choose to feel abundant, even when circumstances seem otherwise. You can choose to feel confident, even when faced with challenges. By consciously choosing your emotions, you change the energy you send into the world, and thus you change the reality that comes back to you. So, The next time you find yourself reacting to the world around you, remember this: you are the creator. Your feelings are the brushstrokes, and your life is the canvas. If you want a masterpiece, you must first paint it with intention, with emotion, with belief. In the next part, we'll explore how to harness the power of assumption to shape your reality even more consciously. Because feeling is just the beginning. Assumption is the next step in becoming the master of your destiny. Assumption is the bridge between feeling and creation. It is the act of assuming that your desired reality is already true, even before you see any evidence of it in the physical world. Imagine this: you have a powerful desire, a goal, or a dream. The feeling of wanting it fills you with emotion. Now, to bring that dream into reality, you must assume that it is already yours. Neville Goddard, the great teacher of manifestation, often spoke about the power of assumption. He said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." When you do this, you're stepping into the role of the person who already has what you desire. You're no longer waiting for circumstances to align before you believe it. Instead, you are creating the inner conviction that it has already happened. When you assume the feeling of your desire being fulfilled, you create a vibrational match between your inner state and the external world. You align your subconscious mind with the frequency of your goal. Your assumptions take root in your subconscious, and eventually they begin to shape your external reality. Let's say you want financial abundance. Instead of focusing on lack, you begin to assume that abundance is already flowing to you. Don't wait for the paycheck or the unexpected windfall to prove it. You assume it. You start to feel the joy and gratitude of already having abundance. You live as though money is already in your life, and your actions, thoughts, and decisions all align with that assumption. This might feel like a stretch at first. It may feel uncomfortable, even false, but that's exactly where the power lies. The mind doesn't know the difference between what is imagined and what is real. The more you assume the reality you want, the more the universe aligns to reflect that assumption. The key is to persist in the assumption, even when the outer world shows no evidence of it. Your assumption, held long enough, must manifest. The law is unbreakable. In the next part, we will dive deeper into how persistent assumption creates lasting change, and how to hold the feeling of your wish fulfilled, despite the world around you. Persistence is the secret ingredient that turns assumption into manifestation. It's not just about assuming your desire once and then forgetting about it. It's about consistently embodying the feeling of the wish fulfilled, regardless of external circumstances. Imagine a seed planted in the soil. If you water it, give it sunlight, and nourish it with care, it will eventually grow into a plant. But if you neglect it, doubt whether it will sprout, or give up on it too soon, the seed will remain dormant. Similarly, your assumption needs consistent attention and nurturing. When you persist in assuming your desired reality, you are, in essence, planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Each time you consciously choose to feel and live as though your wish is already fulfilled, you're reinforcing the belief that it is true. The more you do this, the more deeply rooted your assumption becomes in your mind. The law of assumption works through conviction, the unwavering belief that your desired outcome is inevitable. Conviction is a powerful force. When you truly believe that your assumption is real, you carry that energy with you. It changes how you move through life, how you respond to challenges, and how you interact with others. Think about it. When you are absolutely convinced that something will happen, you don't waste energy doubting or questioning. You simply act as though it's already a reality. This unwavering conviction transforms your entire vibration and sends out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive your manifestation. Conviction also shields you from distractions. When external evidence contradicts your assumptions, it can be easy to fall back into doubt. But if your conviction is strong, you won't be swayed. You know that reality bends to your inner state, not the other way around. The more you assume, the more your environment will begin to reflect your assumptions. You'll notice synchronicities, opportunities, and people aligning with the energy you've created. You won't need to force things to happen. The universe will respond, and things will unfold in ways you couldn't have imagined. At the heart of manifestation lies the power of imagination. It's not just about thinking about what you want, but about living it, feeling it, within the realm of your mind before it materializes in the physical world. Imagination is your personal tool for creation, a space where your desires take form and become real to you, long before they appear in your external reality. Neville Goddard taught that imagination is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is through the act of vividly imagining the desired outcome as already true that we align ourselves with the frequency of that reality. The key is to not only visualize your goal but to feel the emotional intensity of that experience as if it's already happening. The more you immerse yourself in this imaginative experience, the stronger the assumption becomes. You are creating a new mental reality, and this new reality must eventually express itself in your physical world. But remember, this isn't passive daydreaming. It's focused, intentional, and powerful. You are creating from a place of deep emotional resonance, and that energy shapes your experiences. Imagination also allows you to bypass the constraints of time and space. You don't need to wait for the physical world to change first. You can imagine yourself already living in your desired state, and in doing so you create a shift within yourself. This shift causes the external world to rearrange itself in alignment with your inner assumptions. A powerful way to use imagination in manifestation is through mental scenes. Create a short mental scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. For example, if your wish is to achieve financial freedom, imagine yourself in a scenario where you're living that freedom. Maybe you're traveling, shopping, or simply enjoying a life of ease. Engage with the emotions in that scene. What do you see, hear, and feel? How does it feel to live that life? Stay with that scene until you're emotionally immersed in it, and then carry that feeling with you. Your imagination is not just a tool to see your desired outcome, it's the very fabric of the reality you're constructing. Treat it as sacred, and give it the time, focus, and emotional energy it deserves. Every time you do, you are drawing your manifestation closer to you. At the core of Neville Goddard's teachings lies the principle of assumption, the belief that what you desire is already true, even before you see evidence of it in the physical world. Assumption is more than just a mental thought. It is a state of being. It's a way of living as though your desires are already fulfilled. Assumption requires faith, not in the way we traditionally think of faith, but in the belief that the world responds to the mental state you embody. It's understanding that your thoughts and feelings are the creative forces shaping your reality. When you assume that what you want is already yours, you place yourself in vibrational alignment with that reality. Your inner world then acts as a magnet for the outer world to reflect those assumptions back to you. But here's the catch. Assumption doesn't mean waiting for things to line up perfectly in the outer world before you feel it. It's the opposite. You must feel it now, in the present moment. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and live as though it's already part of your experience. By doing this, you send a signal to the universe that you are already in possession of your desire. What many fail to realize is that assumption works regardless of your current circumstances. If you find yourself in a situation that contradicts your desires, your job is to persist in assuming the opposite until it becomes your reality. Your assumption is not bound by time, space, or external conditions. It transcends them. As you live from the assumption that your desire is already real, you begin to see the outer world shift in ways that align with your inner state. The secret to effective assumption lies in the feeling. Believing is not enough if you don't truly embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The feeling of having what you want creates the internal environment that attracts the manifestation. So, take the time to truly connect with the emotions you would experience if your desire were already true. Remember, manifestation is not about forcing something to happen. It's about aligning yourself with the truth of what you want. Assume it's already yours, and the universe will follow suit. Imagination is a powerful tool in the manifestation process. Neville Goddard often emphasized the importance of imagination in shaping our reality. He believed that imagination is the key to accessing and activating the inner world, which in turn creates the outer world. To manifest effectively, you must use your imagination to create vivid, emotional experiences of your desire, as if they're already happening. Imagination is not just about visualizing, it's about living in that imagined experience with all of your senses. When you imagine, you're creating a mental picture, but to truly bring it to life, you need to involve every part of your being, your emotions, thoughts, and feelings. It's about immersing yourself in the experience, feeling the joy, excitement, gratitude, and satisfaction as if it's happening right now. The more real you can make this imagined scenario, the more it will influence the physical world. The act of imagining is not just a technique, it's a way of being. When you imagine your desires in detail, you are training your mind to believe that they already exist. This process is not just mental but emotional. The emotional state you create through imagination is what drives the manifestation process. You must cultivate the feeling that matches the experience of having your desire. To make the most of your imagination, you must practice consistently. Set aside time each day to vividly imagine your desired outcome. Whether it's your dream home, career, relationship, or health, visualize it in great detail and then allow yourself to feel the emotions that would naturally arise if it were already part of your life. The more you do this, the more you will begin to notice the external world reflecting your internal changes. Imagination bridges the gap between your current reality and your desired one. It serves as the catalyst for the manifestation process, shifting your consciousness to a state of alignment with your goals. Through imagination, you engage in the creative act of bringing something into being that was once only a thought. Trust in your ability to imagine, and know that what you imagine with feeling is just as real as the world you see before you. As you imagine, so you become. One of the core teachings of Neville Goddard is the principle of assumption. He teaches that you must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, even before you see any physical evidence of it. This is one of the most powerful practices in the manifestation process. By assuming the feeling of your desire, you align yourself with the energy and vibration of your goal. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you shift your consciousness to a state where the thing you desire already exists. It's not about waiting for the external world to change before you feel the way you want to feel. It's about feeling it first, and in doing so, creating the conditions for it to manifest in your life. Assumption isn't just wishful thinking, it's the act of believing that your desire is already part of your reality. This principle relies on the understanding that what you experience in your inner world will eventually manifest in the outer world. Your assumptions are like seeds planted in your mind, and when nurtured with belief and emotion, they will grow into your reality. You must be willing to live as though your desire has already materialized, acting and thinking as if it is already true. The challenge often lies in letting go of doubt and skepticism. The mind will try to pull you back into old patterns of thinking and feeling. This is why consistency and persistence are key. Each time doubt arises, remind yourself of the power of assumption. Trust that when you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are activating a law of the universe that cannot fail. To practice assumption effectively, you must engage your emotions fully. Imagine yourself in the experience of having your desire right now. How do you feel? What does it look like? What are you doing? These are the feelings and actions you need to embody, because your external reality is a reflection of your internal state. Your assumptions become the blueprint for your manifestation. Assume your desired outcome as if it is already here, and feel the joy, satisfaction, and gratitude for it. When you do this, the universe begins to respond, drawing the circumstances, people, and events into your life that align with your assumption. The key to the power of assumption is this: when you believe your desire is already fulfilled, you align with the vibration of that desire, and that energy attracts the physical manifestation of it into your life. As you assume, so you become. As you feel, so you attract. Once you've assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the next crucial step is persistence. Persistence means maintaining that assumption regardless of what your senses are telling you. This is where many people falter. They allow what they see in the physical world to dictate how they feel inside, and in doing so, they break the spell of creation. Neville Goddard teaches that your senses can deceive you. They show you the present reality, not the potential reality you are creating. If you react to what you currently see, you reinforce it and keep it alive. But if you hold firm to your assumption, if you persist in the inner feeling of already having your desire, you allow the unseen to become seen. This is not denial of reality, but mastery over it. Persistence is the art of staying loyal to your vision, even when nothing seems to be happening, even when it looks like everything is going wrong, even when it feels like your desires are impossible. You keep returning to the inner state where your wish is already fulfilled. You keep feeling the feeling. You keep living in the end. You become unshakable in your conviction, like a tree with deep roots. No matter how strong the winds of doubt or delay, you remain grounded in your belief. This is not a passive waiting. This is active creation. Each moment you persist in the assumption, you are recreating your reality. You are shifting timelines. You are bending circumstances to match your inner world. Neville reminds us that creation is finished. That means everything you desire already exists in a higher dimension, in a state of potential. Your job is not to create it from scratch, but to select it, assume it, and persist in that assumption until it hardens into fact. The bridge of incidents will appear, guiding you to the manifestation, often in ways you could never have predicted. Sometimes it may feel like nothing is happening, but in truth, everything is happening. The universe is rearranging itself behind the scenes. Your job is to remain faithful, to keep the fire of your inner vision burning, and to trust that your assumption is already true. Persistence is proof of belief. When you persist, you declare to the universe, "This is who I am now. This is what I have. This is my reality. And the universe in time must conform. When you persist in the assumption of your wish fulfilled, something remarkable begins to unfold, what Neville Goddard calls the bridge of incidence. This is the path life takes to bring you to the physical realization of your inner conviction. It is not your job to figure out how things will come to pass. It is only your job to assume the state and remain loyal to it. The bridge of incidence is often subtle. It doesn't always come with flashing signs or grand gestures. It may appear as a random conversation, a sudden idea, an unexpected opportunity. Seemingly unrelated events begin to align perfectly, forming a series of stepping stones that carry you to your desire. Neville teaches that once the feeling is assumed and sustained, life will rearrange itself to make it so. It may not happen in the way you expect. In fact, it rarely does. That is why you must release the need to control the how. Your logical mind is limited, but imagination, feeling, and faith operate in a much higher realm. As you walk the bridge, trust that each event, no matter how ordinary or even inconvenient it may seem, is part of the unfolding. Sometimes, the path may require the old to fall apart, so the new can be built. A job may end. A relationship may shift. Doors may close so that better ones can open. Do not resist. Do not doubt. Remember what you have assumed. Return to the feeling. Stay in the end. The bridge will carry you effortlessly, if you allow it. There is no need to force or rush. Just walk. Step by step. Trust that you are being led. Trust that unseen forces are at work, responding to the energy you've already put in motion. The beauty of the bridge is that it will always feel natural. Even the most miraculous events, when they arrive, will seem like the next logical step. That is how the universe works. It makes the extraordinary feel ordinary, so that you never feel out of place in your blessing. Do not be surprised if things change quickly or slowly. Each manifestation has its own timing, its own rhythm. Your role is not to chase the outcome, but to dwell in the feeling and allow the bridge to reveal itself in perfect timing. Your assumption sets everything in motion. Your feeling brings it to life, and your persistence builds the path. Trust the bridge, walk it in faith. And one day, without effort, you'll find yourself living in the exact reality you once imagined. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to become consumed by outer noise. The opinions of others, the pressure to succeed, the fear of missing out. But manifestation is not born from chaos. It is born from stillness, from silence, from deep inner knowing. Neville often spoke about the importance of quieting the mind. It is in this stillness that you access the creative center of your being. In stillness, the world fades, and your imagination takes the lead. It is here you make contact with the infinite. It is here you speak the language of God, through feeling. You don't need to chase anything. You don't need to force outcomes. You don't need to beg the universe. You simply need to be still, assume the state of the wish fulfilled, and rest in it. That rest, that peace, is the evidence of belief. When you are no longer anxious, no longer questioning, no longer reaching, you are now in alignment. Stillness is not weakness. It is power under control. It is the quiet confidence that what you desire is already yours. From this place, you respond rather than react. You trust rather than doubt. You allow rather than resist. The outer world may tempt you to look outside for proof, but don't fall for it. Real transformation begins within. The true proof is how you feel. If you feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude of already having your desire, then that's the proof. It's on its way. The outer will conform, but only after the inner is solid. Take time each day to return to stillness, even if just for a few moments. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, feel the reality of your desire, hear the sounds of your new world, taste the success, see it clearly, and then release. Let go. Rest in the knowing that it is done. The world may be loud, but your power lies in silence, in imagination, in the sacred space of your mind. From here you create worlds. From here you become the cause. From here you manifest. Let the world spin, as it may. You stay still, you stay centered, you stay in the end. And from that stillness, all things will come to you. One of the most overlooked keys in manifestation is persistence. Most people dabble. They try a technique once or twice, and when the results don't come instantly, they give up. But this journey is not about trying. It's about becoming. Neville Goddard made it clear. Your assumption must be persisted in until it hardens into fact. Not because the universe is testing you, not because it's difficult, but because your inner state must become stable, solid, unshakable. You are not hoping for something to happen. You are living as though it already has, and that requires discipline. Each time your mind wants to go back to the old story, you gently return it to the new one. Each time doubt creeps in, you don't resist it. You replace it with conviction, with feeling, with vision. You are building a new identity, and just like going to the gym, it takes repetition, focus, consistency, not force, not struggle, just unwavering belief that your inner reality is more real than what your eyes can see. And eventually, it becomes second nature. You no longer have to fight to stay in the state. You live there. It becomes normal to feel successful, to feel loved, to feel wealthy, to feel free. You wake up in that state. You fall asleep in that state. And the outer world, without fail, reflects that back to you. Persistence doesn't mean strain. It means trust. It means choosing again and again to dwell in the end, until the end becomes your beginning, until what once felt like a dream becomes your everyday life. So no matter what the world says, persist. No matter how long it takes, persist. No matter how impossible it seems, persist. Feel it real. Assume it true. Live it now, and keep going, until it hardens into fact. Every day you are talking to yourself. Consciously or unconsciously, you're having conversations in your mind, with yourself, with others, with situations that haven't even happened. These inner dialogues might seem harmless, but they are powerful creators. Neville Goddard taught that your inner conversations mirror your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your reality. So the question is, what are you saying to yourself when no one is listening? Are you replaying past disappointments? Are you imagining worst-case scenarios? Are you anticipating rejection, failure, struggle? Because if you are, you're impressing those ideas upon your subconscious, and your subconscious doesn't judge. It accepts whatever you consistently feel as true, and then it goes to work creating it. But here's the beauty. You can take control. You can deliberately change your inner conversations. Instead of arguing for your limitations, argue for your greatness. Instead of imagining how things can go wrong, imagine how perfectly they could go right. Speak to yourself as the version of you who already has what you desire. Talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. Be encouraging. Be certain. Be clear if you want love. Imagine the conversations you'd have with your ideal partner. If you want success, hear the congratulations, the praise, the well done ringing in your mind. Let your inner world be saturated with the sounds of your desired reality. Your inner talk is not just background noise, it is the seed of manifestation, so clean it up, guide it, direct it, speak only what you want to experience. Because what you whisper to yourself today becomes what the world will shout back at you tomorrow. And so now, the journey is yours. No one else can walk it for you. You are not here to beg for scraps from the universe. You are here to remember that you are the universe, clothed in form, pulsing with power, alive with the ability to choose, to feel, to know. You are not a product of circumstance, but the cause behind it. Every feeling you nurture becomes a seed. Every assumption you persist in becomes a command. So take the reins, feel boldly, assume wisely, love deeply, and live deliberately. Not someday, not when it's perfect. Now, because now is always the doorway. Now is where creation begins. And now, it's your turn. If this message stirred something deep within you, if you felt seen, remembered, awakened, then you were meant to find this. It's not an accident, it's alignment. So trust that feeling. And let this be your sign to stay connected. Subscribe, not just to a channel, but to the version of you that knows your power, that chooses truth, that lives wide awake. More is coming, and your journey has only just begun.